Hey up, my name is John Dainton and I've written a series of books called Animal Anarchy. They're all available on Amazon and illustrated by my good friend Peter Kavanagh. This is book 1, but today I'm going to read you a story from book 2 called Cadger Badger. So, if you're sitting comfortably, then I'll begin. Bob Bartholomew Badger was an inveterate cadger. He was always on the borrow. "Are you using that phone? Could you give me a loan? I'll bring it back first thing tomorrow." "You don't happen to have a brush I could use? A step ladder, a bucket, a 15-amp fuse, a screwdriver, a ball of string? I'm not sure what it is, but are you using this thing?" The requests were never ending, and his friends grew tired of lending because stuff never came back. It seemed that Bob had a complete lack of remembering the things loaned in good faith, of items given freely and with good grace. One day, his friends were sitting to tea, and Mole said, "Do you know what Bob just borrowed from me? All the ingredients for making cupcakes. But then he said he wasn't able to bake, so would it be possible to use my oven to make the cakes, a baker's dozen? And did I know if I had any candles? And had I realised that my cupboards were a shambles? Before I knew it, he had stripped the shelves bare. Not even a worm sandwich I'd left there. And do you imagine just for 1 minute that I'll even smell a cake? It's a travesty, innit?" "You're lucky," said Owl. "He came by my nest and asked could I spare a nice woolen vest. Just for 4 months, I was to understand, because winter was coming throughout the land. And did I realise that the hot water bottle I'd loaned him last winter had sprung a leak? I can tell you if these wings had hands, I'd like to throttle Bob and give him a serious tweak with my beak." "Have you been round his new house?" asked Felicity Field Mouse. "He's moved into the old human barrow, where he's dug his own entrance, quite narrow. How does he manage to get all that stuff inside? It must be a mess, and mess I can't abide. So I lent him my vacuum cleaner 3 months ago, with a pickled egg and half a pound of mince. What's he doing with them, I'd like to know, 'cause I've seen none of it since." "Hang on," said Harry Hedgehog. "About this new home, I'm not sure I'd want to live there all upon my own. The old barrow is where ancient humans used to bury their kings. There'll be skulls and bones and all kinds of ghostly things. However, a chamber there will be deep inside, where all the stuff Bob borrows he can hide. Now rush me not. I'm having an idea that might upset our Bob and make him feel queer. But if we can get him to leave this house, we can go around and collect all the stuff that is ours." So the friends drank more tea and developed their scheme and invited others to share in their dream. "Count me in," crowed the Fox. "He borrowed my trolley to move some stuff. I should have known it was folly. And what with Reynard being much bigger than any of them and quite a good digger, they asked him to dig a new tunnel, not very wide, to get into Bob's barrow from the other side. And he got it finished just 2 days later, because Reynard was an excellent excavator. Then Harry and Felicity crept down inside to the underground chamber, looking for a place to hide. "Great," said Harry, "just as I figured. Look, a skeleton. This'll work, or I'll be jiggered. Old Bob doesn't even know it's here, hidden behind these empty bottles of beer. Felicity, under the bones of the hand you winkle, and I'll climb into the skull. And when Bob comes in, you make the bottles tinkle, while I make a snort like a bull." The pair didn't have very long to wait before Bob arrived, dragging a gate he'd borrowed from Ferret so he could lock up his treasure. Just the right size, it could have been made to measure. But then, as he rested, he heard a strange sound from behind the beer bottles, so he looked around. The bottles were moving. The sound, it was tinkling. There's something strange here, he had an inkling, and peering around the back of the pile, he saw the bony hand move, and his heart ran a mile. Then out of the skull came a huff and a gruff, and a ghostly voice called, "Bob Badger, enough! How dare you come in here and desecrate my burial piece with ferret's gate, and buckets and ladders and an old broken phone? Even if it worked, I've got no one to call. There's nobody at home. So take all this stuff back to the people who loaned it. It's borrowed, Bob Badger. You never did own it." Well, Bob fled from the barrow, and waiting outside were all the friends from whom he'd borrowed. There was no place to hide. "Hello, Bob," said Mole. "You're looking very frightened, and your coat's lost all its colour. In fact, it has been whitened." "Oh, Mole, oh dear, oh bestest of friends, I've brought you some cupcakes. It's time to make amends. And Owl, here's your vest and your hot water bottle, your ladder and your bucket and your duffel coat toggle. And Reynard, here's your trolley and the old broken brolly. Where's Harry and Felicity? I must correct my folly." "There's somewhere here I think you'll find," said Mole, who by now was feeling quite kind. "Oh, Harry, Felicity, will you forgive me, please? Here's all your stuff back. Can we now rest in peace? And harsh feelings to rest be laid?" "Of course," cheered his friends. "Now your debts have been paid." Well, I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, it was from Book 2 of Animal Anarchy. If you like it, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can contact me on the email address below. But in the meantime, look after yourselves, be happy, and come back soon for another story. Ta-ra!